Good day, viewers. Welcome to this news and current affairs program of the Trust Television Network. My name is Manir Dan Ali. I'm the anchor of this program. And with me today is Alhaji Abdullahi Adamu, a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Turakin Kefi, former governor of Nasarawa State, and a veteran of the Nigerian political scene. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
If we could start from the present. You are chairing the Agric Committee of the Senate, and this government, the APC government of President Muhammadu Buhari, of which you are a member, has made agriculture to be one of its key programs. There's the Anko Borrowers, there are so many other programs that are related to making agriculture the big deal that it ought to be in a country like Nigeria. Have you facilitated in the Senate or hindered the achievement of that vision?
Well, if you permit me, before going to answer the question, I want to start by congratulating the Media Trust for this very, very praiseworthy effort in the establishment of a television station. I have followed with very keen interest developments and progress that the Trust Media is making. And I feel you are breaking grounds at a rate that I never did give you a chance to say we would do so. I'm really impressed with what you are doing, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this. And the only thing I can do is to pray that Almighty God should continue to guide your effort and ensure that the success you dream of having is, realized. Having said this, I want to identify myself with the effort that this administration is making in ensuring that agriculture receives a new lease of life. And of the cardinal principles of Muhammadu Buhari's administration is the issue of agriculture. The president believes very, very strongly that until and unless we are able to feed ourselves, our sovereignty is challenged. And he thought one very, very method that he would approach, because of the diversities of Nigerian interests, no matter what you do, is to take agriculture along with other economic activity areas by way of diversification of the economy. And agriculture will be one of the sectors so involved. Administrations before Muhammadu Buhari's administration have talked about diversification of the economy. We've seen little or no evidence of that. But since the president came on board in 2015, he made it very clear with all those who are involved with the issue of promoting agricultural, production in the country, that agriculture must be placed in the front burner. And on our part, as the Parliament or National Assembly, it is for us to take a look at whatever the regime under which, legal regime under which, agricultural production is taking place. It's looked up, analyzed, and where there are lapses that require, attention by way of legislation, they give every support to ensure that the president commitment to agriculture.
What specific support have you given?
Financing. Financing. There are variety of legislation that we passed aimed at addressing the smallholder farmer to accessing funds.
But we have heard stories of a lot of problems associated with it. There is a huge lack of repayment because at one time the banks were complaining maybe 70% are not paying back this loan because of the culture of
the unfortunate
that is government largesse.
Yes, the unfortunate thing about the payment, we would be not doing justice to beneficiaries of the schemes if we just take them in one whole swoop. Different parts of this country are facing different types of problems, particularly the issue of security, the issue of banditry, the issue of Boko Haram, how it has impacted on agricultural production drives in the country. And what do you do? When you go to a bank to take a loan, you didn't know that, you know, the banditry we're talking about, the insecurity is going to catch up with you to the extent that you virtually cannot go to your farm.
The president did give the assurance when he appointed the new service chiefs that within a certain period before the rains start, they should be able to clear this problem, and it does not appear to be so.
I think the president must be quoted.
Actually,
the president must be quoted correctly. As a general, I believe he would not say, I give you instruction, go and make sure that there's complete clearance of security in 2 months. They had 2 months. It was only yesterday that we finally the screening of clearing of the new chief of army staff. Only yesterday. And
yes, but I'm talking of even the previous one, the one that died when he made the clean sweep of all the service chiefs. An order was given.
How long ago?
And the situation.
Let's be practical.
Yes.
Let's be very, very practical. Nobody who is fair to his mind and to government would expect that with the change in leadership of the security chiefs, which was just about 3 months ago, that within 3 months, this problem that we've been going through for the past 6, 7, 8 years will become a thing of the past. It's not just practical. It's just not possible. But a lot of progress is being made. Of course.
But will you call it progress when previously Niger State was not under this kind of situation? Kebbi State wasn't featuring. Sokoto State wasn't featuring. Indeed, at the beginning, it was largely restricted to Zamfara and parts of Katsina State. But all these states are now affected, and farmers, villages, towns have been deserted. In fact, we have reported that there are instances where the bandits are saying, okay, come, we'll tax you, or you farm on our farm, and then we allow you to farm on your farm.
In fairness to the question, I have heard this. I'll be dishonest to say I'm not aware of this reportage, which has been on for quite some time now. But I think let us be a little more pragmatic about the situation we have in hand. We are not fighting a conventional war. I'm not a soldier. I've never been in the army. But common sense tells me, when I read about conventional wars, when I follow developments in some countries that are faced with this, and with my little experience with the Nigerian Civil War, I know that's not the kind of war we're fighting. All right? Here you are involved with terrorism. It's terrorism we're fighting. And it is a very, very new phenomenon in our security, that is challenging our security infrastructure. And you need to readjust the focus of your security infrastructure. You need to have new orientation for your men and, in uniform, that are involved with these operations, to see how best now, how they changed the gear of their operation.
But how
to
long
meet
does it
the-
take? Because we've
Of course,
had this
of course,
kind
of course.
of
One doesn't pray for it to
war
go a long time.
from the northeast
Yeah,
for more than a decade.
Nobody in his true senses, nobody who is patriotic would want this problem to go 1 minute longer than it should. In the first place, we shouldn't even have it. But the reality of the situation is we got caught up with this.
But people are saying that corruption is playing a big part. There is corruption in the arms purchases. We've had whispers from the National Security Advisor. There are also cases of army generals in charge of divisions who have been compromised. I mean, one of them actually is under court-martial for diverting lots of millions that in turn his junior officers took away from him. So there are these whispers of corruption.
I am not in a position to deny
Yes.
or to endorse the fact that that is the case. As a lawyer, I am hard placed to prejudge, any accused person until such accused persons are found guilty in accordance with due process of law. All right, they are innocent before the law.
Now
So the fact of the matter is, I do agree totally that we are in the very deep winter in this security issues, and everybody's hand must be on deck. There has been almost a total collapse of the security outfit, and the terrorists are taking advantage of this. And it takes, like I said, a complete new orientation, new approach.
But why isn't the Senate itself sitting probably in a closed door session? I know it has done some with all the big security chiefs and also even without them, and saying that, look, we need to think out of the box. All these solutions we've been proffering, they haven't solved the problem. The problem has only grown worse.
I wish.
So far, there isn't even an attempt to recall maybe the recently retired security people back into service to face this current war. And you see the way legal niceties have prevented the police from, because of the argument between the Police Service Commission, the Office of the Inspector General, to even recruit new policemen. And meanwhile, you don't have enough to have enough boots on the ground.
My brother, I share your sentiments and emotions on this.
Yes.
But it takes a process. You will be the first, the media, if the government tries to do anything outside the norm. You'll be the first to criticize the government. So the government has to be very, very systematic. Government has to follow due process in approaching this problem, no matter how pressing they are.
But
for instance,
there be leadership from the government? The government is elected to lead, not to fall victim of criticism or to recoil when there is a lot of criticism.
No. You see, the President Buhari I know is not the kind of person who will recoil. He doesn't. He's straight. But we are in a very deep, if you permit, trench with this security situation. And I try not to be emotional, or I try to check my emotions when I'm discussing this matter. I appreciate the fact that any sane citizen of this country, you don't have to lose a relation to understand the gravity of the situation we have in our hands. Okay? If there's anything that can be done by way of showing concern, by way of debating the issue, by way of organizing very special sessions, executive sessions, we've had conferences, we've had workshops on these. We've met with service chiefs. We've even visited sometimes, some of the battlefronts, as committees of the Senate. All right? And so it is one thing to wish this away. It is quite another to face the realities of getting it done within the time frame that everybody will be happy with.
But part of the reality is that governors in your own party, like that of Niger State, have been expressing a lot of anger, a lot of disappointment with the federal government, which has the exclusive right over matters to do with defense, about the way they've been handling this matter. And now people are just resorting to self-help, which in itself could be dangerous because people are arming themselves in all the villages, in all the communities in order to defend themselves because they see like there's a failure of the state. Aren't you all concerned that
in as much as I appreciate the concern, and I appreciate what the governor of Niger State is saying because I know how much he's doing, you know, but the fact is, no country in the world will say we face a situation like this and within a split second we're able to treat it. All right, there are so many diversionary issues. All right, it is easy to say, oh yes, a government is elected. Oh yes, we made promises to secure. We have that duty, primary duty, to secure the country and to ensure the welfare of our citizens. Okay, but this is not done in a vacuum. This situation is a real situation. Some of it locally made, some of it imported. All right. The migration of these terrorists, Buhari has no control over it. The kind of borders, the control of the borders, there's a limit to which you can say, you and me know. You know, nobody will tell you how many border points we have, how many potential entry points for this we have, not just for smugglers, but even for terrorists. So that's a very, very serious, you know, situation that you virtually every day you wake up, you are faced with a new phenomenon with the security situation in the country. And the government has been trying the much can. But the biggest problem, if you permit me, is the fact that we have not been able to get the totality of our citizenry to stand up and be patriotic. This security challenge is everybody's challenge. Security is everybody's concern. It's not a matter of anybody folding his hands and so there is a Buhari government, take care of it. We are all part and parcel of these challenges that the security poses.
But what more could communities do? Just last week, I was speaking to somebody from Saskia.
I tell you what you can do. I tell you what you can do. I tell you what I can. Yes.
And this guy was saying that, look, there are bandits just on the outskirts of their village. They've been camped there. They know it. They have reported it to the authorities. And there are soldiers in the village, but they have never bothered to take the fight to them. And you see that the general trend has been that it's only reaction. You wait for them to kidnap students, then you go after them.
Honestly,
you are not taking the battle to them.
Between me and you and the view in public, I'm a legislator. I feel concerned because the legislature is an arm of government. I am part and parcel of this government. Yes. If there is success, I associate with it. If there is failure, God forbid, I associate with it. But what I expect in situations like we have in our hands, that every person you touch on the street, anywhere, whatever your calling should be, is standing with the government. Well, a lot of diversionary criticisms of what government is doing or not doing in regard to this. We expect people to stand up for the government, all right? There are times when you can come and say, look, oh, you should have done this way. But for now, let us be together. The issue of people reporting that, oh, we have there's some suspicion. Some terrorists are identified to have occupied the particular location with intention to come and attack. So this, I cannot comment on it because I don't have the intelligence on it. I don't have anything to confirm it. Either the fact that I've had it probably as the way you are hearing. Maybe your own source of hearing is even more authentic than mine because mine, I just speak. Maybe you have got reporters you are sending all over the place. Some of the reports they bring may be very authentic reports. I don't have that opportunity. All right? And in the National Assembly, it is what comes to us. Okay? But
it appears you are trying to absolve the National Assembly.
No. The fact of the matter is,
and pushing it to the executive.
No. I don't blame. I don't go for blame games. I stand shoulder to shoulder with this government and with the president. I see the reality of the problem we have in our hands, and I see it as a challenge for every one of us because security Yes, government has primary responsibility, but it is everybody's responsibility.
But I think Nigerians are very clear that this is an existential
No,
challenge
at this sitting you can
everybody.
No.
And as you know, humans are not robots, so maybe not 100% of Nigerians will stand over the matter.
Yes.
But majority of Nigerians understand
the
that
majority you are referring to.
Without peace, there can be nothing. Nothing can happen.
Everybody will appreciate that point.
Yes.
Everybody will appreciate that point.
And it
excuse me.
And it is these
but
communities who are living where these bandits are operating, who are getting killed. It's not government officials who are sitting in safe places, who have soldiers and security people around them.
No, I think we are going.
Ordinary people are there and they are dying, they are being killed, and then still the government is saying they are not giving enough cooperation. I know communities where they are contributing to buy locally manufactured guns to defend themselves.
Well, like I said, Alhaji Manir, I cannot pretend that I know and I have heard every kind of complaint from any part of this, from every part of this country as they occur. All right. For one thing, I know we are in the deep with the issue of security. I also do know, as a senator, that we've had more sessions than I can count on this matter. But we are not the end producer of what it takes to bring the peace from the war, from the battlefront. We give whatever we come up with by way of conclusions to the executive. The executive, in turn, would get appropriate commands and give whatever kind of instruction. I don't have to be there to know what instruction is given, what is not given. I'm not a member of the security committee, okay? But notwithstanding that, I am talking from the point of view of the commitment. I know the president as the chief executive of this country, the commitment he has for the security. I do know his security, the commitment he has. But the elite, you and me, are the ones that are posing the greatest problem of criticizing the government. You know,
there must be criticism.
Oh no. But look, you see, you can positively. You see, I'm sorry. Yeah. You can positively criticize. There's nothing wrong with it. No good government will say we don't want criticism. But when the criticism is negative, when it is criticism is negative, or when you say, okay, I have nothing to do with it, it is a Buhari affair, or it is a senator's affair, it's beyond it. It's every one of us is engulfed in it now. And the sooner we realize this, and the sooner we have the wake-up call, so that everybody comes on board to see how best we can get over this problem, the better for all of us.
Talking about being a lawyer earlier, which you hinted at, and the respect for the rule of law processes, will you say that the judiciary is up to the task? I mean, given the way cases linger on and on. For example, on social media, there was a lot of comments when they saw the way the French dealt with the matter of the guy who slapped their president. Their system within days have already finished that case. If the people were commenting and saying, if it were Nigeria, maybe until the end of the tenure.
That is hypothetical. That's hypothetical. It has not happened in Nigeria. You cannot take a French incident and plant in Nigeria and say, if it were here, nothing would have been done the way the French did it. That's no fair. That's no fair comment.
There are lots of cases, including of corruption.
Yeah, if you appoint
the EFCC is prosecuting, and they have taken a decade, and there is no closure.
You see,
the nearest we had was that of Kalu, and it went to the Supreme Court, and then it quashed it on a technicality.
Yes. My brother, I want us to get something straight.
Yes.
I appreciate your sense of patriotism, your concern for what good is happening in some countries that's not happening in Nigeria. You don't just plant solutions. The background check in France, in the United Kingdom, in the United States of America, in Germany, it's not the same with that in this country. All right? You and me know. I know you were in the UK for quite some time. You and me know the security network there. It's not the same as we have here. You know it. Not because we don't want to have, but we're just not there yet. We're just not there yet. Every person who commits the kind of crime that you're talking about, slapping the president, the moment having bam, they pick the person, they know his blood group, They know his records, whether he has criminal records or what have you. They know his status in his community and the kind of stuff. You don't have the kind of information here. All right? You don't have that kind of information here. And what do you do about you start a prosecution of a case? The next day, the first information report, the guy who wrote it, is transferred. All right? So or the judge retires.
What should be done? Do we continue ringing our head and saying Nigeria is not the UK, is not France?
No. That would be a pessimistic.
And then we are more on technicalities than on substance.
I'm just talking of our being realistic. Let's be down to earth, realistic.